Have you ever wondered what might be lurking behind that warm smile of the waitress serving your breakfast? Or what really happens in the kitchens of those roadside diners when no one is watching? Well, get ready to lose your appetite, because in today's episode of Midnight Mysteries, we're going to dive into a story so disturbing that it will make you think twice before stopping for a meal at an unknown diner. Greetings, dear viewers thirsty for mysteries. I'm Raven Shadowmere, and welcome to another chilling episode of Midnight Mysteries. Before we embark on this macabre journey, don't forget to leave that like that feeds our hungry algorithms, and subscribe to the channel. Oh, and activate the notification bell, because trust me, you won't want to miss a single sordid detail of the stories we have to share. Today, we're serving up a hefty portion of terror with a dash of mystery. Our story begins in the early 1990s, specifically in 1992, on a lonely road in New Mexico. The setting? Dusty's Diner, an establishment that would become the epicenter of a series of disappearances that would leave an entire community in shock. Imagine this: 8 people, 8 lives, all connected by one single place, all vanished without a trace. What could have happened to them? What dark secrets lay hidden behind the seemingly welcoming walls of Dusty's Diner? Get ready to meet the story of Emily Carter, a woman whose relentless quest for answers about her sister's disappearance would lead her to unimaginable discoveries. And don't lose sight of Detective Mary Jacobs, whose determination to unravel this mystery would bring her face to face with an evil she could never have anticipated. And as for the owner of Dusty's Diner, Frank Johnson, well, let's just say that his friendly smile may hide more than just the secret to a good apple pie. As we unravel this web of horror and intrigue, you will discover that reality can be much scarier than any horror story. After all, the true monster might be sitting right next to you, serving coffee with a smile. So grab your mugs, settle in, and prepare for a story that will stir your stomach and your mind, because by the end of this episode, you might find that sometimes the price of a meal can be much higher than you ever imagined. And now, my dear detectives of the macabre, I must ask, are you ready to dive into part 2 of this chilling tale? Detective Mary Jacobs' investigation began as normally as it was terrifying. In 1992, when the sun began to set over the vast desert landscapes of New Mexico, Mary received the call that would change her career forever. One of the missing victims, Thomas Miller, was found lifeless under mysterious circumstances, just miles away from Dusty's Diner. The case was officially closed as a traffic accident, but Mary sensed something more sinister behind that disappearance. Determined to uncover the truth, Mary decided to visit Dusty's Diner in person. Upon arrival, the atmosphere of the place was strangely welcoming, with the neon lights flickering rhythmically and the unmistakable smell of fresh coffee in the air. Frank Johnson, the owner of the diner, greeted her with a friendly smile, but his eyes hid something that Mary couldn't immediately identify. "Welcome to Dusty's, Detective Jacobs," Frank said, extending a firm handshake. "What brings you here on this quiet night?" Mary thanked Frank for his hospitality, but couldn't shake off the unease in his demeanor. She began asking questions about the disappearances, carefully observing each reaction. Frank responded evasively, mentioning only that the disappearances were unfortunate, but offered few details. As Mary explored the place, chatting with the staff and reviewing the diner's records, she began to notice disturbing patterns. All the victims had stopped for coffee at the same time, on days with adverse weather conditions. Additionally, there were reports of strange figures seen near the parking lot at night, vanishing into the shadows before anyone could approach. One night, Mary decided to spend a few hours in the diner. Disguised as an ordinary customer, she watched the surroundings closely, especially the empty parking lot and the dimly lit areas. It was then that she saw something that made her heart race. A dark figure moving quickly between the cars. Mary tried to follow, but the figure mysteriously disappeared, leaving only a trail of silence and fear. Determined to gather more information, Mary began investigating Frank Johnson's past. She discovered that he had inherited the diner from his father, who was also known for his shady connections in the area. Rumors of illegal activities and dubious dealings circulated in the small community, but they had never been confirmed. Mary knew she was getting close to something big, something that could explain the disappearances. In a surprising twist, Mary found an old diary hidden in the back of the diner's office. The pages were filled with cryptic notes and diagrams that seemed to indicate a network of underground tunnels connected to the restaurant. As she deciphered the entries, it became clear that Frank was involved in something far beyond serving coffee. There were references to special clients and discreet transactions, suggesting the existence of a clandestine operation. Determined to confront Frank, Mary returned to the diner one night, armed with the evidence she had gathered. The tension in the air was palpable as she demanded answers. Frank, faced with irrefutable proof, finally caved, revealing the shocking truth. Dusty's Diner was a front for an organ trafficking network, operating for years in the shadows of the desert. As Frank explained the gruesome details of his operation, Mary realized the full extent of the horror she was unraveling. The victims were not just unlucky truck drivers, but part of a larger, more sinister scheme. With the help of Emily Carter, the sister of one of the victims, Mary gathered the necessary evidence to take down Frank and his network, but not without facing unimaginable dangers along the way. Mary Jacobs's journey through Dusty's Diner revealed a web of lies, fear, and murder, showing that sometimes the deepest horrors hide in the most unexpected places. Each discovery brought Mary closer to the truth, but also put her at greater risk, demonstrating that the quest for justice often requires confronting one's own demons. As Mary delved deeper into the investigation, she not only confronted those responsible for the disappearances, but also grappled with her own fears and doubts. Her emotional connection with Emily Carter added a layer of complexity to the story, highlighting the human and devastating impact of the crimes committed at Dusty's Diner. Mary understood that each step forward brought her closer to uncovering the truth, but also closer to imminent danger. On a decisive night, Mary and Emily returned to the diner for one final attempt to catch Frank in the act. With a meticulously crafted plan, they managed to surprise Frank just as he was preparing for his next transaction. The confrontation was intense, filled with tension and moments of pure adrenaline, culminating in Frank's capture and the exposure of his organ trafficking network. However, even with Frank behind bars, Mary knew the horrors of Dusty's Diner did not end there. The community remained shocked and traumatized, and the scars from the disappearances would continue to haunt those who survived. Mary reflected on the fragility of trust and how seemingly innocent places can hide the darkest secrets. As she wrapped up the case, Mary felt a mix of relief and sadness. Justice had been served, but the emotional toll was high. She knew the memory of the victims would live on forever, and her determination to uncover the truth had made a difference in the lives of many. The experience transformed her, strengthening her resolve to fight against injustices, no matter how deep or hidden they might be. The capture of Frank Johnson marked the end of one of the darkest chapters in the history of Dusty's Diner. The consequences of Mary Jacobs's actions resonated deeply in the small community that, for so long, had kept silent in the face of the horrors unfolding behind the diner's welcoming facade. With Frank finally behind bars, the organ trafficking network he ran crumbled, freeing numerous victims from a terrifying fate. Mary, along with Emily Carter, worked tirelessly to ensure all evidence was presented robustly, guaranteeing justice for each of the 8 missing victims between 1992 and 1996. The revelation of Dusty's Diner's dark secrets brought relief to the families of the victims, though the emotional scars remain deep and indelible. The community, once haunted by fear and distrust, began to rebuild. Inspired by Mary's courage, the residents united to restore trust and safety in their town. Dusty's Diner, now closed, became a symbol of resilience and the human capacity to confront and overcome the evil that once lurked in the shadows. For Mary Jacobs, the case left indelible marks. Although justice had been achieved, she carried with her the memories of tense moments, sleepless nights, and the intense emotions experienced during the investigation. Her connection with Emily Carter, strengthened through shared pain and determination, became an emotional anchor that helped Mary navigate the turbulent waters of her personal journey. In the epilogue of this chapter, we see Mary reflecting on the lessons learned. Determination and courage can unveil the darkest truths, but the price of truth is often steep. The story of Dusty's Diner serves as a grim reminder that even in the most unexpected places, evil can thrive, and constant vigilance is necessary to protect what is most precious: human life and dignity. As Mary closed the final case file, she knew that while this chapter had come to an end, the battle against the dark forces haunting humanity was far from over. Every horror story, every unresolved mystery was an opportunity to confront the unknown and seek light amid darkness. And so, we come to the end of this dark journey through Dusty's Diner. Reflecting on all that has been revealed, it becomes clear that the deepest secrets often hide behind the coziest facades. The determination of Mary Jacobs and the courage of Emily Carter not only dismantled an organ trafficking network, but also brought light to the shadows that haunted that small New Mexico community. The lessons drawn from this story are stark. Truth comes at a cost, and the pursuit of justice requires unwavering inner strength. Mary showed us that even in the face of the most indescribable horrors, human resilience can prevail. And Emily, with her pain and determination, exemplified the power of hope and unity in times of despair. Now, I would like to hear from you, viewer. What do you think motivates someone to face such dangers in search of the truth? Leave your comment below and share your thoughts on this chilling story. Is Dusty's Diner just a piece of a larger puzzle of unresolved mysteries? After all, in the vast American desert, how many other secrets are waiting to be uncovered under the pale glow of neon lights? Who knows? The next terrifying story might be just a truck stop away. And thus, we conclude yet another journey into the shadows of the unknown here on Midnight Mysteries. If you managed to follow every detail of this chilling tale from Dusty's Diner, then congratulations, you truly are not easily shaken. Or perhaps you're just enough to keep you awake tonight. Before we say goodbye, I want to deeply thank you for staying until the end. Your support is what keeps this channel alive, exploring the darkest mysteries and deepest terrors that humanity can imagine. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and leave that like. That helps us continue to unearth these unsettling stories for you. After all, who knows what the next terrifying secret we'll reveal might be. And if you really want to take this experience to the next level, share this video with your friends. After all, everyone needs a good dose of suspense and fear now and then, don't they? Just imagine their surprise discovering that a simple cup of coffee can hide so much horror. Before you go, let us know in the comments what you thought of this investigation. Are there other Dusty's Diners out there, hiding even darker secrets? Or perhaps you have your own untold story. I'd love to hear your thoughts and who knows, explore your suggestions in future episodes. Thank you for watching and for being part of this community that isn't afraid to face the unknown. Until next time, where more mysteries await to be uncovered under the light of midnight. And remember, not everything that glitters in the dark is what it seems.